Let's bring in media writer for The Australian, Sophie Elsworth, for today's big headline. Sophie, the Albanese government is in a world of trouble when 3 Labor senators are rebelling against its emergency migration laws, saying they would give Immigration Minister Andrew Giles too much power. This is the man who sat by while the High Court released dozens of criminal detainees. Well, they're saying he should not receive broad and unfettered discretion to ban citizens from certain countries from applying for visas to Australia. This is according to a non-partisan committee with members from the Greens, Liberals and Labor. Giles is an activist, Sophie. His heart isn't in this. He advocated for the Tampa asylum seekers. Now he's wanting to ban citizens from certain countries. It's sort of going from one extreme to the other. But you've got 3 Labor senators here who are saying, no, this is not a good idea. I mean, that is quite a rebuke.
Isn't it, Rita? Isn't it interesting that this report came out in The Australian today and the fact that these Labor senators are actually saying no? But what concerns me, Rita, is when governments try and rush through legislation, act in haste. This legislation, they were only given, was it 36 hours or very short space of time to review it, which isn't enough to get expert advice, legal advice. So I think it is a good move that it's been questioned and that hasn't just been pushed through.
Now, among 1 in 3 jobs created over the past year, among 1 in 3 was due to the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Just look at the rate of NDIS job growth compared to total employment. It is rapid and it's unsustainable, Sophie. When you compare it to the private sector jobs, this is economically devastating for taxpayers. What can be done about this issue? Because the expenditure we're having in that area and the number of people who are now falling under that umbrella of the NDIS who really shouldn't. There are people there who need the NDIS, who are absolutely legitimate cases, and then there's others who are now falling under this very broad umbrella.
Well, Rita, that's exactly the point, isn't it? The NDIS, I think, is a very important scheme and helps a lot of people, as you said, that do need it. But unfortunately, like with all these sorts of things, when there is money being handed out, there is rorting. And I think that is one thing that the government really needs to look at, and they have been looking at, is cracking down people who are accessing money that perhaps shouldn't be. But obviously this expenditure here, it's not sustainable, Rita. It can't just keep growing at this rapid pace.
Sticking with bad economic data, we were expecting 3 to 4 interest rate cuts this year, but now the Australian Financial Review is reporting that economists are predicting there will be no rate cuts in 2024, or at least none until November. They're arguing inflation just isn't slowing as fast as other countries and the job market remains too tight. Sophie, this is bad news for home buyers. We're going to see a lot more people pushed into mortgage stress.
Absolutely, Rita. I mean, we've got a cash rate that is quite high now compared to what it was during COVID when it was, right down near zero. We've had, 13 rate rises, and that is obviously impacting people. Their cost of living is going up, but we have a share market that's at record highs. We've got house prices going up. Everything seems to be going up. So these rate cuts, as economists say, probably won't come this year if their predictions are correct.